Blockchains hold the potential to revolutionize every aspect of our online lives, from digital finance to identity to gaming and so much more. We've made a ton of progress in this direction since I've been involved in crypto in the last 7 years, but it feels like we still have a long way to go. Yes, it's still early. And one reason for this is that there's a ton of room for new players to come onto the scene and change the game for how we use blockchains in the first place to solve real problems that can carry us to mass adoption. And in this video, I want to talk about a brand new crypto that hasn't been released yet that could be an absolute game changer for how we use blockchains every single day and could easily be a top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know in this video today as a blockchain developer myself who works this technology on a daily basis. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below and subscribe. And if you want to take advantage of all the insane opportunity that's happening in crypto right now, the absolute best way is to increase your income by becoming a blockchain developer. And I can show you how to do that step by step from start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, so let's get into this. Let's talk about this new yet to be released crypto that could be an absolute game changer for how we use blockchains. Well, what is it? Well, before I tell you, I always want to make this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any cryptocurrency based on this information. And this is not a sponsored video. My intention for making this video is to keep you informed on what's happening with blockchain technology and as a consequence, how this could affect crypto markets. You always have to make your own informed decisions. So with that being said, this new cryptocurrency is the POL token. Well, if you've been in the crypto space for any length of time, you might have heard of its predecessor, the Matic token. So the POL token is going to be the new version of the Matic token. Now, you have to understand that this is not a simple rebrand, okay? This is a major technical change that, if done well, can in fact change the game for how we use blockchains. So let's take a look at how that works. So let's get some background on this. So if you were in crypto during the last bull cycle, you probably heard quite a bit about the Matic token during that time. It was a 1000x altcoin gainer from the beginning, okay? It made a lot of people very wealthy. So why is that? Well, Polygon, the technology behind the Matic token, came onto the scene as an Ethereum scaling solution. So one of the biggest problems in the last bull cycle was that Ethereum was the epicenter for all of the DeFi activity, all of the NFT activity that was happening on chain. And there were many different solutions to scale Ethereum, one of which was Polygon. This is one of the main reasons for Matic's price performance, okay? And at several points during the last bull run, the Matic token flirted with the top 10 cryptos by market cap, especially if you exclude stablecoins. Now, since the bear market has hit, Matic, like most of the altcoins, has declined significantly from its all-time highs and hasn't even gained its all-time high again, and really not even close. In fact, it's closer to its bear market lows. And most of the activity on the Polygon chain now is fueled by the demand for Polymarket, a leading blockchain-based predictions market, which is gaining quite a bit of popularity during the 2024 presidential election. More on that in another video. But like I said, Matic previously flirted with the top 10 cryptos in the 2021 bull run, and I believe this new upgrade that I'm about to talk about, and its transition to the POL token, that it does stand a chance to firmly regain that position back into the top 10 cryptos. And that's a big if. I stress if they can pull off what I'm about to talk about and if people adopt it. So let's see why. So on September 4th, the Matic token will transition to the POL token. And if you happen to hold any Matic tokens, I'll tell you what you need to do for this migration later in the video. But like I was saying before, this is not a simple rebrand. It's a massive technical upgrade that completely changed how the Polygon technology works and could be a game changer for all of crypto. Let's see how. Well, in order to understand this, the first thing you have to do is wrap your head around how blockchains work at present time and how they scale. So one of the biggest problems with massively decentralized chains like Ethereum and Bitcoin is that they're slow and expensive. After all, you've probably heard the complaint that Ethereum is too slow, it's too expensive to use for mass adoption, and that's true. But the long-term vision for Ethereum is to create a separate scaling solution that speeds up this entire process rather than changing the actual underlying blockchain itself. And there's really two main ways to do this. With layer 2 scaling solutions, number 1, and number 2 is with sidechains. So let's start off with sidechains because that's really what Polygon was when it got started. Basically, this is a separate blockchain that you can easily move to from a different chain like Ethereum because it's compatible, and you can move over to a chain like Polygon that's cheaper, it's faster, it makes some trade-offs in how it works compared to Ethereum, but you get these benefits of speed and cost, okay? but there's definitely some cons, okay? So you have to move to this new chain from one that you already had funds on before. You have to bridge. And if you're going to pay the gas fees on that chain, you need a different cryptocurrency, the Matic token, like instead of if you held Ether on a different chain. And then when you're done, you have to go back to the chain that you wanted to stay on originally. Now, this worked really well for a while, but has largely fallen out of favor by most users in favor of a different way, which is with layer 2 scaling solutions. So basically, this is where you create a separate environment. It's a blockchain network that piggybacks off of another blockchain. So you have layer 1, layer 2. So like layer 1 in this case would be the underlying blockchain like Ethereum, but then you have this second environment, layer 2 scaling solution where you do your transactions. They're faster, they're cheaper, but then they settle back on the main Ethereum blockchain and you pay the gas fees in Ether on this other chain. So the benefits of this is you don't need a different cryptocurrency, okay? But you do have to bridge to this layer 2 if you're going to use it. Now, there are many players who have innovated in this space like Arbitrum, Optimism, Base, and also Polygon. But with layer 2s, there's another big problem, okay? And that's the problem that Polygon's trying to solve. So let me explain what it is. So whenever you have all these different fast execution environments like layer 2s, like Solana, you have a massive fragmentation problem. So basically you end up with a dozen or potentially even dozens of different blockchain environments that you have to move back and forth between to do different tasks or capture different opportunities. So for example, if you have a coin on one chain, but you can't use it on a specific app because it's on a different chain, well, you have to go through the process of taking that coin, bridging it to a different chain, which is a massive headache. It takes time, it costs money. Or in another example, like if you want to buy or sell a coin on a specific exchange, there's a dozen or maybe even dozens of different decentralized exchanges that you can use across these different environments, and they all have different liquidity or money sitting in them that's fragmented across all these different chains. These have different prices sometimes, different slippages, different, depths of liquidity. It's incredibly efficient. It's a huge headache. And if we just had one blockchain that everybody used, okay, and we took all these other blockchains and rolled them up and threw them in the trash, it would completely solve this problem. Now, we can't exactly do that. We're not just going to turn off all these other blockchains. But what if we didn't have to? What if there's another way? Well, that's exactly what Polygon's Ag Layer plans to do. So instead of having to switch a bunch of different blockchains and layer 2s anytime you want to go buy a new coin or perform some action on chain, you can use the Ag Layer as a single layer and stay there in order to take advantage of these different opportunities without having to jump in between blockchains and sometimes maybe not even knowing which blockchain that you're using behind the scenes. Now, I've waited a very long time for somebody to come out with this and really pull it off. Okay, I've talked about this concept a few times in my channel, and some people have tried to approach this problem in the past, but I think the Ag Layer is promising simply because of the team behind it and what they've accomplished in the crypto space previously. So let's see how it works. So basically, the Ag Layer is an aggregated blockchain design that borrows from the best of monolithic blockchain, which is basically just staying on one chain, and the modular approach to scaling, which is like what I'm talking about, layer 2s and stuff like that. So it's in state, the Ag Layer will provide a common language, okay, for secure atomic interoperability among heterogeneous chains. So basically, you can kind of see an image of what that looks like here. You've got all these different blockchains that don't presently talk to one another, and then you've got this aggregation layer here, and this unified bridge contract, which exists on top of the Ethereum chain. So how's it gonna work? Well, basically, the Ag Layer is a new environment. It will have apps that it supports, okay? You'll connect your wallet to it, and if you want to use different apps, coin's an app or a DeFi app is an app, and they're on the Ag Layer, and they're also on these other chains, then you can just use the app on the Ag Layer and it can take advantage of all the liquidity and activity on these other chains, and you may or may not even know what blockchain that you're using behind the scenes, and you don't have to switch in between them, which is, really insane. And if they can pull this off and it gets adopted, that could be a major layer of abstraction that we've needed for a very long time in crypto that solves this problem of like all these chains and like what the heck do I do with them? Now that's a big if. There's a lot to prove in order for this to actually work and for it to get adopted, but if it does, then this could be a massive deal. All right, so that's how the Ag Layer works, but let's bring this back to the POL token like I was talking about. So again, the Matic token is going to become the POL token on September 4th. This is not a simple rebrand, it's a massive technical change like I just explained. And the new POL token is going to serve as a major function in this Ag Layer, okay, by securing different blockchains within the network. So, if the Ag Layer supports chains like Ethereum, Solana, ton, okay? The Pol token is going to function to secure these networks with this new design. So what does this mean if you're already a Matic holder, like you've got some in a wallet or an exchange somewhere? Well, from what I understand, you won't need to really do anything in order for your tokens to get migrated, okay? It's just going to happen automatically. Now, if you do all them on exchanges, then exchanges, of course, will have to support this, but it's my understanding that major exchanges, at least like Coinbase, plan to upgrade the Matic token to Pol. I don't have the exact timeline when that's going to happen, but they do plan to support that. My guess is pretty soon after the migration, if not on migration day. All right, so that's an overview of the Pol token that's coming out in just a few days, all right? And this big, massive technical change is happening in the Polygon ecosystem behind the scenes with its ag layer and how that could be a game changer for how we use blockchains on a day-to-day basis if this is properly executed and if people adopt it. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Are you excited about this? Do you think it's going to work? Do you think it's not going to work? I want to hear from you. And whenever you're finished leaving your comment, make sure you smash that like button down below and subscribe. And if you want to take advantage of the insane opportunity that's happening in the crypto space right now, the absolute best way is to increase your income by becoming a blockchain developer. And I can show you how to do that step-by-step from start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You really ought to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.